Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today we're on location at the beautiful CoWork Boutique. Is that the name of it?
Yes, it is.
All right, and so it is so vibrant, so much energy from the front door to the conference room. Every room has its own personality, and this is your baby.
Yes.
Not your biological baby, which we know she's almost getting ready to go to college. She's a senior now. Right. So this is your new baby. So when she goes off to college, you'll have something to keep you centered. Okay, keep you centered. Okay, so how did we get here? Tell me about the CoWork Boutique and how did you come up with this concept?
Co-working has been a thing I've been following for several years when I found myself working from home and teaching online in different locations. So, it's always been in the back of my mind. And then in 2022, my mom started suggesting that I look for a building. And I had kind of tabled the vision for a while. So, I wasn't really expecting that.
Tabled the vision.
I did. I started, focusing on other things.
Right. Distractions,
absolutely.
Right.
So when we started looking, this was the second place we looked at. So I knew that.
Really?
It was.
Wow. And so you had this in the back of your mind because you were actually co-working at other business locations in your other life.
Coffee shops and
things like that. And so you were like, okay, there is a need. And this is mostly, are you focusing mostly on women in business?
I am. For this one, I hope to open others, but this focus for this one is women because entrepreneurs, professional women who work from home in corporate America need space outside of their home sometimes to work, but not just to work, because we all probably have Wi-Fi, but community. So to network with other women, to grow your business, to learn more about business, just to find a sense of community. So that was also
and those are some of the things that came with COVID. You needed to meet with people because during that time I was on the team again with the 2020 census, and if I needed to meet people, even reporters, I was meeting them outside at Starbucks where there was an open space and that kind of thing. And so it became more obvious to a lot of us, and then a lot of people are still teleworking.
Right.
They didn't go back to the bricks and mortar.
Right.
And so this gives them a space, and then you will open this up for those that want to lease is on a monthly basis. And then, they do their thing and they can come and go, and it gives them access and
yeah, so it'll be membership based.
Okay.
Mostly monthly memberships. All of the spaces here and downstairs will be open for people to come in. We'll have set hours starting out. There will be keyless entry, so each member will have their own PIN code to get in and out.
Oh, we thought of everything. Oh my goodness, go.
So, we wanted to make sure that we thought of all of the details that entrepreneurs would need. There will be snacks always stocked in the break room, drinks.
And that's all a part of
the membership.
So it's not an extra fee if I brought a group here and we met and there's water and crackers or something there. It's just a part of like being in my own space.
Right. Yes,
right.
Okay. So you'll be able to bring in guests. There will be guest passes, but the amenities are for members. And then we'll have some days where the community can come in for free and work just to get a sense of the experience.
Because you hosted some community meetings here for a group.
Right.
And then they were able to, the person that was hosting was able to invite other folks to sit in the conference room, and that was an additional charge for the visitors.
Right. No, ma'am. For the visitors, it was not.
Right. Okay.
So for meeting space and short-term things, they can come in and do that.
Okay. So the concept in every room is different. So when you plan this out, it's centrally located, great location. City center is not too far north, it's not too far south, it's right off of the main arteries. People can get here.
Right.
And you try to design a room for various personalities because we have the Einstein. room over there.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is, no, really, and I just named it that because you have Einstein. And then we have another one where it's just, where the brain trust, where all the brilliant people will be in that room coming up with, how we gonna find out who the aliens are.
Right.
No, really, and then you have another space that's very light and airy. That might be for someone that's, meeting with someone that's not so stiff. So you thought of everything.
I did, and I put a lot of myself into it in the sense that I've never really been a dedicated office person. I have a home office at my house, and I'm usually on the couch, on the floor with my teenager, the dining room table. So I'm kind of a floater. So I like to
wherever you can take that laptop.
Depending on how I'm feeling that day. So that's kind of a part of the vision too. So that one day you come in, you might say, I don't want to work in the blue room today. Let me go work in there with the
I
teachers.
know, because this is in my mind kind of sort of the Albany State Fort Valley room. That's why I selected it for this interview, because it's simply amazing. It speaks. Even the artwork, as we took the tour today, the artwork in every room, it speaks. And it's well thought out. I'm just very proud that you were such a forward thinker. That's not something that a lot of young folks, because this is responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go 2 weeks to the Bahamas, because this is your new baby. Yeah, and it's a big commitment.
It is.
So we got real estate and business. Now we're gonna have taxes too. All of that. Yeah. So since the baby is a senior in high school now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is gonna be your next focus as she goes to the next.
It is, and my focus will be on the community building aspect of it. And it is being designed with the thought that it won't always require me to physically be here, which is why we're having a keyless entry so that people can still come and go without somebody needing to open the door like we had to do for you today. Because the pad isn't up yet, but the vision is for just the general day-to-day to kind of run without me, though I do plan to, be here.
Well, it's your baby when it's first born. You got to kind of hold it until it starts to walk. And then you can leave it at the daycare, so to speak. Well, I am just so excited. It's just so much to see here, and we're going to make sure that we, get a couple views of some of the more other fabulous, and so much, the lighting is just breathtaking. In some of the rooms, it's just really, it speaks to me. It speaks to me. But what we're going to do now is go to our first break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after a word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road. Trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com. Hey, welcome back to Straightforward. We are visiting at a very lovely CoWork boutique here in Columbus, and this is a brand new baby and brainchild of Shae Anderson, who is a Bennett girl. HBCU excellence. They trained us how to do a lot of things at those historical Black colleges and universities. No, really, and we know how to improvise. We might not always have the best of everything, but this building speaks.
Thank you.
It does. It's like you got to be able to think outside the box is what I'm saying. It's not like everywhere you were at Bennett, everything was just so perfect and all the wonderful resources. You had to have creative thinking.
You did. You definitely did. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone that ever went to a HBCU knows that. You got to be able to think creatively to make sure you have the things that you need.
That's right.
So share with us about Bennett. How did you get to Bennett? And where it's located?
Bennett is in Greensboro, North Carolina, directly across from North Carolina A&T.
Which is kind of a ride from home.
It is.
Okay.
It is. It's a good ride, about 6 hours.
That's what I know.
And it was not my plan. It was not.
Okay.
My original vision was probably, Spelman or somewhere.
Okay, Atlanta. So we could do like an hour and a half up the road, and you went 6.
I did.
Like 3 times that.
I did. Kicking and screaming, I will say.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
And the summer before my senior year, I think, we were at a family reunion and met a cousin of my father's whose wife was a trustee and had just put a new scholarship in place.
Oh.
And I applied, and I was the first recipient, so it was all tuition paid, expenses, and
one of those presidential type scholarships.
It was, yes,
so
ma'am.
It's a full ride.
And I didn't care. I did not want to go.
And but the parents had the vision.
They did.
Because they understood what it took. Yeah, because they're HBCU graduates.
They
and they knew to get a gift like that, it was not your decision.
It was not.
It wasn't.
And they had,
Bless your heart.
prepared. They had prepared for college, so after my first year, they did purchase a vehicle for me, so I was able to drive back and forth. But, I couldn't appreciate it then, and I went, a week after high school graduation, which also was not.
Oh, Lord, and she didn't have time for her friends to get all that summer stuff in.
I did not.
And then it was a long ride from home.
It was. And I remember my parents and my grandmother dropping me off, and my daddy says, get your lesson, but matriculation. And of course, back then, I was like,
right.
So it wasn't until much later that I could appreciate that speech,
Right.
And I think my first trip home from June was Thanksgiving of that year.
Really? So you really had a lot of homesickness.
I did.
It wasn't like the people that could drive an hour and be home, because 6 hours is a long way. And you were young, and we just didn't let our girls get on the road and drive that far.
Right, and I didn't have a car. But I wasn't alone. Everybody did. My roommates were from Massachusetts, New Jersey, Philly, Virginia. So we made it. We don't walk on the grass to this day because that's what we were taught. But the people I met that summer are still my very best friends to this day.
Because you had that HBCU experience. And I tell people this: if you've never had it, we can't explain it to you.
You can't.
Because it's a sense of family. And I don't care if you go for 10 years, 20 or 30, you've not seen the person. When you see them, it's like you just pick right up and just go from where you left off.
If you weren't in class, people noticed. We had Dean Scarlett, who was over the fresh women. Miss Anderson? I heard you haven't been to class in a couple days.
Okay.
So it was just a different
Well, it was
experience.
a village, and it was advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
And they believed in education, and they knew that a lot of us came, some were more mature than others.
Mm-hmm.
It's that first experience not being where your parents are there,
Right.
and that high school routine, you know, where folks are making sure A, B, C, and D. That's a new freedom, and you have to learn how to adapt to that.
You do.
Right.
Definitely do.
And so what about food and things? You know, in my day, we had food in the dorm and popping popcorn and on the hot plate. Of course, you are a different generation. Put it in a big brown bag and everybody ate from it because we were not wealthy people. You know, we had to try to figure it out. So did you all have that type of camaraderie?
It was the traditional. It wasn't these 4-person apartments.
Right.
You know, in a dorm, set of twin beds, 1 bathroom on each end of the hall.
Okay, so you
shower shoes and
okay, gotta have those. We call them flip-flops. You need your flip-flops. Okay, so you were in the real
Yes,
HBCU.
ma'am. We had a radiator, no air conditioner, window fan.
Okay, all right.
2
So
channels on the TV.
So it's not like what they have now, you know, at Fort Valley, Albany State, because those have really grown to
right. Those are nice.
those are state-of-the-art campuses now where it's a 4-person suite.
No, ma'am.
And they have a living room in the kitchen area, and everybody has a bathroom. And I was just stunned when I saw that. They are very nice, right? So, but anyway, you had the traditional HBCU experience.
That experience that builds that real character.
Oh yeah, yes, you sound like my husband. Okay, so when you came home on your first trip and it was time to go back at Thanksgiving, how was that for you?
It was okay. I had adjusted by that point.
You have friends.
I did. I had friends, and I knew I'd be right back for Christmas break. And those breaks are longer in college than they are at K-12. So I had adjusted by then. Right,
and so it was not like they had to push you. And then, of course, when we get to the second year, it's always easier. It's always easier. And then your people are looking for you.
Right.
Like, what day are you coming back? When are you moving in the dorm? Did you get to pick your own roommate, or it was selected for you the first year?
They were selected the first year. And then I picked the second year, and by third year, I think it was an RA or something. So I had my own.
See, and that's important because you have to learn what to live with people outside of the folks that you've known forever.
Oh, right, you do.
And it's a very good experience, and I know a lot of folks, which is nothing wrong with it, want their kids from Columbus to stay and go to CSU. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with CSU. What I am saying is you need to go and experience the world.
You do.
Right. Because you were able to go 6 hours away from home
at 17
years old. That's a big change.
It is.
And even for the parents, that's a big change. So I just want the students to know, and the people that know you, they know you're from the community in education, from the Liberty, that it's okay to venture outside of your village.
You need to.
It's a big world.
I came back in 2008. So I left in 96 and I came back in 08.
Okay, and so it gave you the courage, is what I'm saying. If they could trust you, your parents at 17, because I'm a parent, and you're one now too, that's a lot, because you're laying there at night and you concerned about things, but it helped you to be the businesswoman that you are.
I definitely learned a lot. I made some mistakes.
All of us. That's a part of the journey.
That I didn't bother calling home about.
But that's okay. That's a part of the journey.
Right.
Well, what we're going to do now is go to our break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after a word from some of our sponsors. The Miley Agency, 4903 Armour Road. Gerald L. Miley and William Ripsinger have been providing comprehensive reviews and insuring families in Georgia and Alabama for more than 50 years. The Miley Agency will work non-stop to find you the best policy at the best price. You can rest assured that your information is secure, confidential, and protected. Call today at 706-996-2045. Adjuster Source 101. Sign up today for the Insurance Claims Adjuster virtual course. The All Lines license allows an adjuster to work claims in residential, commercial, inland marine, ocean marine, and workers' comp, Georgia property and casualty, Alabama property and casualty, and additional states. For more information, call 470-724-1050 or info@adjustersource101.com. David Benefield at the historic Highland Hall, florist extraordinaire, making dreams come true for all occasions. Visit David and his team today at 1504 17th Street or call 706-324-4881, where happiness blooms. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this wonderful visit with Dr. Shae Anderson. And I have to remind myself, we worked on a project together last fall throughout the 2nd Congressional District. And every time I look at you, I see you as one of the children, and I know that you're not. I know that you're not, but that speaks more to my age. Nothing to do with you and the wonderful young woman you have grown to be with Dr. Shae Anderson, but I was like, oh, she's one of the babies. So that's okay. The baby is no longer the baby. The baby is a businesswoman, and you offer a lot of things. I know you served as a communications director, and we worked, about 30 counties last fall, which was a very important mission, and it was successful.
It was.
But you do things in education. You've been a professor, share with the audience all those other skills, because if someone comes to the CoWork boutique and they might need some additional help, which that is an additional charge if they want to hire you as a consultant, I just want to make sure that folks know what all of those fabulous skills are.
Definitely. Well, my background is education.
Okay.
Probably close to 20 years in the classroom.
And what did you teach?
English.
That's why you were communications director. Okay, so you can diagram a sentence. Do they even teach that to kids?
They do.
Okay, because
Well,
I
took it, and it was hard. It
was hard. Well, I didn't know if they still did that in public schools.
So, to some extent,
Okay.
not a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, so K-12, and then I also taught at Fort Valley State and Columbus State for a little bit too, in addition to my nonprofit work. So now I've tried to scale back because I've done a lot.
Okay, you're scaling back.
Because I get distracted easily. So
yeah, you got too many irons in the fire. So
so
we have to just take some things off the table.
So
Okay.
most of what I do now, some nonprofit consulting on occasion with helping startup nonprofits identify their mission and vision and develop programming. And then professional writing is mostly what else I do. Contract work for businesses. I just recently finished a curriculum writing project for a center in Atlanta. That was a lot of fun. So mostly things centered around writing and helping authors self-publish. So those are also workshops that'll be.
So are you a ghost writer?
I've done some ghost writing.
I can see you doing that because you're pretty chilled.
I've done some
And when you're working with some high profile people, sometimes, they all, creative people are all over the map sometimes. And so I could see you being a ghostwriter because we will always see folks on national TV and they'll say, oh, well, I wrote this book or whatever. No, it was a ghostwriter. And that people were really helping you because if you were that busy, you were not just, that's a lot of work.
Right, it is. And I've done that, and I do have a publishing company that I've had for about 10 years.
Okay, and what's the name of that?
Urban Edge Publishing.
See, I just want to say, for all of the young people, I bring a lot of skills. And since you're going to be turning this into a national chain, I just don't, there's nothing wrong with being a Walmart greeter. It's an honest living. I just want to say that, and I told Tamara Johnson this, all of you brilliant young people, I want to put my resume in ahead of time so I can get dressed up and I can be the receptionist. Because see, you all got some visions. No, I like that. I didn't know you had a publishing company.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Right, but I did learn my spelling words at Carver Elementary and I speak pretty good.
You do.
You've been out with me, so I know my spelling words.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just thought I want to get that in there, and apply ahead of time.
I got you.
Okay, so I didn't know about the publishing company. So how do they reach you with that? Do you have, or is that something they can come here?
They will be able to come here. UrbanEdgePublishing.com is our site. We've published probably 20-25 books in the last 10 years. I have a couple of my own in progress that hopefully I get to put out soon.
More of those distractions.
Right.
But especially with the new puppy. That was another distraction.
But that's not mine.
Well, it's going to end up being yours because the other people wanted the puppy. They still have their social life. It always ends up being mom.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
I just thought I'd let you know.
And I have fallen in love with him.
Okay, so he's going to be yours. Okay. So they can come here, and those that are aspiring writers, people reach out. I know I had a friend in Atlanta that had a publishing company, and she's all over everywhere now. Tampa. And so people that I tried to send to her, because she was doing book shows and other things of her own books she had written, it was hard to just put your hand on her sometimes. So we have Urban Publishing. Okay, right here in Columbus. So anyone in the Chattahoochee Valley area, they can go to your website or they can call you and set up a time to come here to confer with you about the publishing. Okay, so we got that done. So what other skills? Do you help people with business plans?
I don't.
You don't do the business plans. You're just mostly
nonprofit consulting and anything written.
So when we're doing the nonprofit, because there's another person that I know that's in media, and they were trying to do a nonprofit based around violence because they lost a grandchild. So you can walk people through what they need to have in place.
I can, yes. I get people reach out a lot for grant writing, which I don't typically take on for other people because I still have some of my own projects.
And it's
I
a
try
lot
to
of
do
work.
for-
People
It
don't
is.
understand. It's
It
a
is.
lot of work, and
Mhm.
grants are very competitive.
Mhm.
And they have professional readers. I know the federal government does,
Mhm.
and they grade the grants.
Mhm.
So someone could put a lot of work in your grant. And I know this from the federal TRIO education program, where one college got a 99 and they didn't get funded because everybody else that was selected had a 100.
Mhm. And it's no guarantee that
It's
after
no
you do
guarantee,
that work.
and it's a lot of work.
Mhm. It
Mhm.
is. Mhm.
Okay, so you help them with the structure
Mhm.
and understanding what it is and how to put that together.
Right. Yes. ma'am.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so for your young entrepreneurs, who are you looking for in terms of young professional women or mature women like myself
Mhm.
coming to use this facility? Because they have to be focused.
Mhm.
You can't come in an environment, it's a shared environment, and you don't really have your own plan and you're just all over the map, because then that's a distraction
Mhm.
for the other people that you use it.
I don't know that we have an age limit because I'm 44.
Right.
So I guess I'm kind of in the
You
middle.
want people established and mature is what I'm saying.
We do, and we will have some opportunities for younger entrepreneurs because I have a 17-year-old entrepreneur.
Who's an artist.
Mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm. And you know, and some days
But she's always with old people, so she's not good
I
she's not a
don't know
good
now, 'cause some days
Okay.
she's feeling entrepreneurial and other
Oh,
days not so much.
Okay.
But you know, for our members, we will, you know, and there's a website where people will be able to go to sign up and get their membership, but we'll always
Okay.
have an updated list of our calendar of, you know, workshops that are free to members,
Okay.
some that'll also be open to the public for a small fee, so they'll always be able to stay up on what we're offering and what we have,
That's
you know,
great.
what we have going on. And,
I love that.
and we want to see other members grow their businesses too.
Exactly.
So there'll be opportunities for them to do workshops, and hopefully we'll be partnering with other businesses. In the
Right,
future.
because we don't want people to come because it's not a hangout. This is a business center.
Right.
This
We
is
want people to
business.
have fun, but it's
Right.
to be
It's
productive.
business.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
business, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, so give us your address and how they can reach you.
We're at 2411 Warm Springs Road here in
Uh-huh.
Columbus. Our grand opening will be in early October. In the
Uh-huh.
meantime, you can reach us by email at info@thecoworkboutique.com or by calling 706-442-0789.
Okay, thecoworkboutique.com. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and it was a pleasure working with you last fall. I knew you were brilliant, and you just had a lot of skills, but I didn't know. I learned a lot about you today. So,
Well, thank you.
again, we will catch up.
Okay. And
All
thank
right.
you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.